set me sign to the bodies on the waterfall, I'm on shepherds. Too much line in it. Set me sign to the bodies on the waterfall, I'm on shepherds.
Water whipping, water dripping. Broke the pack, mixed it with the measures.
Hey everybody, it's Uncle Grumpy and welcome to Grumpy's Corner. That's what we're going to call it for now, is Grumpy's Corner, since it's the middle of the day and I'm actually doing a Grumpy tonight. So Grumpy's Corner. As you can see, I'm here with my good friend Moto. Moto, thank you for joining me. We want to get an announcement out there and we want to get everybody talking about this as soon as possible. We want to start doing Orca town hall meetings about the Orca petitions as soon as this weekend. I know that there's one scheduled already for Tulsa for the 26th, I think. I'll have to verify that date, but we'd like to start them here in Oklahoma City as soon as possible. I've brought Moto in because I want Moto to take care of streaming this out to everybody and making sure everybody sees that.
Yeah, and this is something that we've talked to JR about and everyone that's kind of, helping coordinate the Orca effort, and they were extremely receptive to the idea of getting the community together and maybe doing some traveling town halls, I think is kind of what we have in mind. So we do have a couple of spaces that people have volunteered thus far. The response was good immediately when you put the post out. But tell us a little bit about some of the spaces that we're looking for to do some of these on the various weekends.
Well, what we're hoping to do is try and do this in a different spot every weekend, at least until these petitions are filed. If we need to meet after that, then perhaps we do. But again, it depends on it all depends on the response from the community. I'm thinking a minimum of 50 to 100 seats possibly. It'd be nice if, of course we have air conditioning and all that, but like the one in Tulsa, they've actually got food, they're serving food and everything. Okay. So, we'll take what we can get. Again, we want to try and do this at a different place every time. Moto is into the marketing end of the cannabis industry, and this will be, I think, an opportunity, if we do it at a different place every time, for Moto to help those businesses that may step up and help us with a location. You can, help them spread the word that they've stepped up and helped the community.
And I noticed on your original post, which we'll have you kind of give us a review on Orca and why these town halls are going to be so important to the conversation. But a lot of people were also asking if they were going to be able to participate via Zoom or through a technical aspect with these meetings. And so, Grumpy wanted to let everyone know early on that we're going to be fully tech integrated, and all of those options will be available. In fact, if you're watching the stream right now, we do have the comment section up in front of us. So as Grumpy, gives us a little bit of information about Orca and the conversations that we seek to have at these town halls, if you have questions, drop them in the comments. We will be able to see them, even if we can't get to answering them or talking about them here during the live stream. We can go back in and comment later and help get that information across to the community.
Well, this is exactly why I brought you in. I want all these town hall meetings to be as broadcast as possible. I know a lot of people aren't going to be able to make it. Like I said, I'm assuming maybe we can get 50 or 100 to show up. That would actually be a really good number. But if we could then also stream it to the other thousands of people that this affects, I think that's why I brought you in. So I think that'll be a good way to make that happen. Orca, just to touch a little bit on what this is about, Orca is an organization created by Jed Green and some others, moving forward the medical marijuana petition and full access petition for constitutional amendments. Obviously, I should have started with that, but I think almost everybody who's watching knows what this is all about.
And if you're curious and you caught the stream, now this is the time to listen and get cued in here.
But there's a lot in this, and the reason why I've decided to step up and try and coordinate some of these events is because I don't think we're seeing enough community involvement. It's not that I think that there's anything good or bad in the petitions. It's that I don't think enough people are aware of what's in them. And there's a lot in there. There's a lot to unpack. I mean, this is more than 20 pages on the medical one. That's a lot of pages.
You know, I met with someone that's pretty integral to the organization of the Orca petitions right now the other day, and we talked about how everybody has Orca on their mind or on their mouths. There's a lot of people that don't know a lot about it. Like you said, there needs to be more conversation, which is something that the Orca organizers have been extremely receptive to as we've reached out and started organizing these town halls. But in one way, shape, or form, everyone in the community is aware of the Orca petitions right now. So even just the opportunity to have that conversation as a community is a great chance for us to gather, network, organize, and kind of circle the wagons as a cannabis community that's been under attack from the government we cleaved our rights back from in the first place. So, you know, just the value of us being able to meet and have constructive conversations about the petition efforts and the legislation that we are focused on as a cannabis community, I think is very important.
Yeah, and to be very specific, these petitions could be filed soon. And my concern is that everybody's going to look at them the day after they're filed, and then everybody's going to have a question or a concern or a problem, and then we're going to have trouble getting everybody united.
Yeah.
And to get this across the finish line. There's some things in there I'm concerned about. There's things I want to talk through. I'm sure there's a lot that other people want to talk through. So, you know, this is a great opportunity to do this. Now, nothing like this has happened since the pandemic. You know, but this was how 788 came about. Now, I was not involved in the community at that time, but, you know, this is what everybody's calling for, is these in-person community town hall meetings. So, you know, we want to make that happen. And Jed Green the head of Orca, is going to make it to as many of these as he can. He may not be able to make it to all of them. I'm really certain he's not going to be able to make it to this weekend, but we'll have Lawrence Pasternak there. I'll be there. Norma Sapp will be there. You'll be there. We'll get some other people there. And it'll be a good chance for everybody to have input. Jed may not be there, but I'm sure he'll be watching the stream, or at least will later, because, you know, you'll be making sure this is available for everybody to see. So, you know, whether everybody's at this first one or the second one or any of them, if you just show up for some of them and pay attention, we can get the eyes on this thing that we need. Because again, I don't want to wake up with regret is what it is. And I'm seeing conversations about it, but I'm not seeing enough in detail conversations about the actual language, maybe about the idea in general. And I'm getting people already messaging me asking when they can pick up signatures, or when they can pick up petitions to collect signatures and things like that. Well, we're not to that stage yet, and that's what this is about.
Yeah.
So,
and a robust conversation helps spread awareness for the petitions also, so I think that's great. And one thing that I found particularly appealing about the Orca effort, or at least the way that it's been explained to me thus far, is usually in grassroots efforts and situations like 788, what you have is a group of people that come together, you know, to get grumpy or something and decide what they want to do, and then they have to find or hire the professional political infrastructure on the back end to get that done. It seems like Orca's approach might have been kind of backwards from that, where they were more focused on having the political infrastructure or the vehicle ready to go as the community kind of hammered out what it wanted in the language and figured out who the bodies were that were going to step out and be in the front line. So I do like that they're taking, you know, for a military guy like me, it seems like a tactical approach to that, like a build it and they will come. So they seemed, and it was echoed by their willingness for us to organize these town halls. They seem ready for the community to come in now at this point and start having these conversations and making some of these decisions. It's hard making decisions all by yourself sometimes too.
I disagree with everything you just said, but that's okay. That's okay. That's what these conversations are supposed to be about. I'm not happy with the way it is. I couldn't tell you who Orca is other than Jed Green. So I want to talk about the language that's in the petition. I want to get everybody together to talk about the language in the petition. If everybody wants to concentrate on the structure, maybe they can fill me in because I don't know enough. But it is important, like I said, that we all get a hard look at this language. Like I said, there's parts I have issues with. And my goal is to make sure that when this is done, we're all still sitting together. Yeah. So if anybody has a building, we just checked out one place we're probably going to use on one weekend. We're not sure which one yet. We checked out another one yesterday. We're going to use, I think, the weekend of the 22nd or something, maybe. And so if you've got a place, and in fact, I don't care what town it's in. Like he said, traveling road show, we'll be happy to come to you. I know I will. I mean, this is what we did when we were all pushing 788. Was I put 20,000 miles on my car in a few months just driving around the state, going to these different events. And I'm happy to do that again right now, if that's what it takes to get everybody
Raymond Storm
to pay
is
attention.
Joining us here. Hey, buddy, let's see if we've got any comments or questions here. We've got Robin here. We need the community to pay attention, and I think that's what Grumpy is saying here, Robin. And so far, Orca seems to be a canvas with a lot of room for us to work with. So let's start organizing these town halls. We're going to live stream it, like Grumpy said, from any town that you're at. If you have a facility and you want to have one of these community conversations there, we can all participate in the conversation statewide via the miracle of technology and the internet, and hashtag OTU Media is going to be very proud to facilitate that for you.
Luckily, I haven't found a camera that I haven't loved yet, so
yes,
we're good for getting the word out.
Yeah, I haven't found a camera you look good on yet either.
Well, there's that, but I'm especially without the beard now.
I know. So. I could not be more upset with you for shaving off that beautiful man mane.
But see, here's the thing, and this is what some people know that were around me at the beginning. I started growing that beard. I cut it down to almost nothing, and I started growing that beard the same month I learned about 788 while I was in California spending a month on a cannabis farm. And I came back here and I started fighting for 788, and I never shaved. And I had planned on shaving when, or at least cutting it way down when it passed, but I knew something, the fight just wasn't over. Well, long story short, the fight's never been over. But now it's a new fight. Yeah. Now everybody's finally on board from what I've been screaming since the last day of session of 2019, that we need full access. So I decided it was time to cut the beard down to almost nothing and start all over. So see, I won't trim the beard again until we pass full access, which should be November of 2022.
Cool. It should be yesteryear. It should be 40 years ago. But.
So the beard has a purpose.
Yeah.
You see, the beard has a purpose. So there you go, folks. A little story for you.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. And Grumpy, again, thanks for giving OTU Media a chance to get involved and do this part for Orca. And thank you, Jed Green, and everyone that's working on Orca right now. Thank you to everyone that's offering space for us to be able to do that. Oh, a high-speed internet connection would be most preferable. So if that I forgot to offer that, but
it would be, but we'll work without it.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
We will do whatever we have to do. And just remind everybody, I am doing Grumpy tonight. I'll do that from my page at 8:00 tonight. We have Jerry Flowers from Urban Wellness in Edmond coming on to talk about the petitions and a few other things. So that should be a really good show. So don't miss that. All right, folks, that's it. Until tonight, stay grumpy. I'll see you on the road.
Water whipping, water dripping. Broke the pack, mixed it with the midget.